Back to the Mr. Excel Netcast. I'm Bill Jelen. If you're a basketball fan, or even if you're not a basketball fan in the United States, the next 3 weeks will be kind of crazy. It's March Madness, the NCAA basketball pool, where 64 different men's college teams enter the bracket to become the national champion. Now, about 15 years ago, I had a manager who said to me, "Hey, guess what? You're in charge of running the basketball pool for the office." Well, this, of course, is a big hassle. I was a young analyst at the time, and I basically started to keep track of all this in Lotus 123. A few years ago, someone came to me and said, "Hey, I need to keep track of an NCAA basketball pool," and we pulled the old system out and dusted it off, brought it into Excel. I want to invite you to enter my basketball pool. It's completely free, and the winner gets their choice of books from the Mr. Excel store. With my basketball pool, you're going to go to mrexcel.com/ncaa.html and download this bracket. I want to talk about some of the Excel behind this bracket. Now, actually, this is Friday. I don't know what the selections are. These are last year's selections. On Monday morning, the real bracket will be available with the selections for 2007. Basically, we have all of the teams along the left-hand side here, and to enter your selections, you actually come over here to column B and open the drop-down and choose one of the two teams. Now, last year, it was Duke, the #1 seed, versus Southern, and most people would choose Duke. But then George Washington versus UNC Wilmington, you have to pick those. Now, what's really cool is after you've chosen those two selections and go on to the next spot to put the winner for the second round, the drop-down is smart enough to know that you chose Duke and George Washington in the first round. Let's take a look at how we do this. The data validation is set up using data validation. We allow a list, and normally the list has to be right on this worksheet, but you'll see here that I've referred to something called List 01. If we go to Insert Name Define and take a look at List 01, it's actually on a sheet called Sheet 2, A2 to A3. Well, that's a hidden sheet. You have to go to Format Sheet Unhide to take a look at Sheet 2, and you'll see that at some point we went through the tedious process of actually putting all the lists here and their live formulas that update. So as you choose something from round 1, the lists on the right-hand side for round 2 pull those choices, and that becomes the validation list. Now, most of the time, data validation is not allowed to work if the list is on another sheet. But if you're using workbook level range names, validation is allowed to work. So I want to invite you to play. Even if you know nothing about basketball, please feel free to download the bracket and enter. Some years, the most bizarre things happen, and the people that know nothing about basketball have the best chance of winning. ncaa.html at Mr. Excel. We'll kind of track the results over the next 3 weeks, as well as telling you about some of the spreadsheets that we have on the back end to automatically generate the reports after each round. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time for another netcast from Mr. Excel.